Some keys unlock doors, but others open gateways to places unknown. In tonight's tale, we follow the story of an antique key discovered in an old desk, a key that doesn't seem to fit any lock, until it reveals a hidden door that leads to a world between worlds. Welcome to Episode 9, of Whispers in the Dark, Late Night Tales, and the mysterious journey of the key to nowhere.
It began with a forgotten desk tucked away in the corner of an old creaky house. The desk was covered in dust, its drawers stiff and unused. When Daniel found it in the attic, he didn't expect to discover anything unusual, just a relic of the past left behind by the house's previous owners. But as he rummaged through the desk, something caught his eye, a small brass key, hidden in a secret compartment beneath a false bottom. The key was old, worn smooth from years of use, but Daniel couldn't find anything it belonged to. No locks, no doors, no explanation. Curious, Daniel kept the key, carrying it with him, as if it held some secret he was meant to uncover. Days turned into weeks, and though he searched the house and the surrounding property, there was no door that matched the key. It was, as far as he could tell, a key to nowhere. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Daniel sat in his living room, absent-mindedly turning the key over in his hands. The house was silent, the only sound the slow ticking of the old grandfather clock. He was about to put the key away when something strange happened. The key began to glow, faint at first, but growing brighter with each passing second. A low hum filled the room, and Daniel felt a strange pull, as if the key was calling to him, urging him to follow. He stood up, gripping the key tightly, his heart racing as he followed the invisible tug. It led him through the house, past rooms he had walked through countless times, until he found himself standing in front of a wall at the end of the hallway. There was nothing there, no door, no hidden panel. But as Daniel held up the key, the wall shimmered, its surface rippling like water. His breath caught in his throat as a door slowly materialized before him, ancient and worn, its surface marked with strange symbols he couldn't understand. With trembling hands, Daniel inserted the key into the lock. The door creaked open, revealing a dark, narrow passageway that seemed to stretch into infinity. A cold breeze swept past him, carrying with it the scent of something old, something forgotten. His mind screamed at him to turn back, to shut the door and throw the key away, but curiosity gripped him tighter. He stepped through the doorway, the darkness swallowing him whole. The passageway was narrow, its walls closing in on him as he moved deeper into the unknown. Faint whispers echoed around him, voices he couldn't quite make out, as if they were coming from far away, or from another time. He didn't know how long he had been walking when the passage suddenly opened into a vast, open space. The air was thick, heavy, with an unnameable tension. Before him stood a massive door, unlike any he had ever seen. It was adorned with symbols similar to the ones on the key, and at its center was an empty keyhole. Without thinking, Daniel stepped forward and placed the key in the lock. The door groaned, shifting and creaking as it swung open, revealing a world that defied explanation. Beyond the door was a place that seemed suspended between time and space. The sky above was dark, but it pulsed with a strange light, as if stars were being born and dying in the span of moments. The ground was solid, yet it seemed to move beneath his feet, shifting with each step he took. In the distance, figures moved through the fog, vague, shadowy shapes that seemed neither human nor fully formed. They whispered to one another, their voices carried on the wind, but the words were lost to the strange echo of the space. Daniel felt a pull toward them, but something stopped him, an instinct perhaps, or a fear he couldn't quite place. He turned, realizing with a jolt that the door behind him was starting to close. Panic surged through him, and he ran toward the door, the key still in his hand. Just as the door was about to seal shut, Daniel slipped through, his heart pounding in his chest. He slammed the door behind him, the strange world disappearing as quickly as it had come. He stood in the hallway breathless, the key still glowing faintly in his hand. The door was gone, as if it had never existed. The house was silent once more, but Daniel knew that something had changed. He had seen what lay beyond, a world between worlds, a place that no one was meant to enter. Daniel kept the key, though he never used it again. He hid it away, buried deep in the back of the desk where he had found it. But sometimes, late at night, he could still hear the faint hum, still feel the pull of the door that led to nowhere. Some keys unlock doors, and others unlock mysteries. But beware, some doors are not meant to be opened. If you ever find a key to nowhere, think twice before you turn the lock. But remember, it's just a story. Or is it?